For centuries, the galaxy maintained a fragile balance, upheld by tense alliances, uneasy partnerships, and a mutual desire to avoid large-scale conflicts. However, the sudden rise of a new power from the distant planet Earth shattered this delicate peace. Humanity, once a humble species confined to a single world, had now become a formidable force. Their unexpected entry into the galactic order was met with both awe and suspicion. Some viewed them as potential allies, while others saw them as a rapidly growing threat. As Earth's technological progress far exceeded expectations, a sense of unease began to grow among the ruling coalition of alien species. Humanity's swift evolution from a fledgling interstellar civilization to a powerful military force did not go unnoticed. Tensions escalated as Earth expanded into contested regions, especially resource-rich areas long coveted by the coalition. The galactic superpowers, once united under a common goal, now found themselves divided. The coalition accused humanity of overstepping its bounds, labeling Earth's actions as disruptive and hostile. Diplomatic negotiations quickly broke down, and the coalition issued an ultimatum: humanity must withdraw from these disputed regions and submit to their control. To Earth's leaders, these demands were unacceptable. They saw them as an affront to their sovereignty and a denial of their rightful place in the galaxy. For years they had pursued peaceful coexistence, striving to build relationships with alien civilizations. Yet the coalition made its intentions clear. They sought to suppress humanity before it could become a true force in the galaxy. Despite repeated diplomatic efforts, humanity refused to comply. The message sent by Earth's leadership was clear: if war was what the coalition wanted, humanity was ready to show them how it was done. The galaxy trembled as Earth's declaration reverberated through the stars. For some, it confirmed their worst fears: humanity was a dangerous unknown, too powerful and unpredictable to be allowed to grow unchecked. For others, it was a bold defiance, a promise that Earth would not be coerced into submission. Confident in their overwhelming numbers, the coalition underestimated humanity's resolve. They deployed fleets of warships, relying on their millennia of military experience and superior firepower to crush Earth's resistance. But they soon learned that humanity was unlike any adversary they had faced. While the coalition relied on rigid command structures and brute force, Earth emphasized adaptability, precision, and innovation. Humanity's forces, composed of dynamic teams of scientists, engineers, strategists, and soldiers, quickly mobilized, with civilians who once worked in factories now producing advanced weapons, ships, and technology at an unprecedented scale. Within months, humanity transformed from a fledgling spacefaring species into a military juggernaut. The coalition issued threats, but humanity did not flinch. Rather than engaging in direct battles, Earth's fleets employed guerrilla tactics, striking weak points in the coalition's supply chains and infrastructure. While the coalition's warships boasted size and power, they lacked the agility needed to counter Earth's constantly evolving strategies. Humanity's strength lay not only in its weaponry but also in its ability to innovate and adapt. Earth's fleets, operating with decentralized command structures, were able to respond swiftly to changing circumstances, while the coalition's rigid hierarchies struggled to keep up. As skirmishes erupted across the galaxy, the tide of war began to shift. Coalition warships, once confident in their superiority, found themselves outmaneuvered and outgunned by Earth's well-coordinated forces. Humanity's engineers designed new technologies specifically to exploit the coalition's weaknesses, devastating their fleets with pinpoint precision. Victory after victory reverberated through the galaxy, and for the first time the mighty coalition was forced to admit they were not invincible. Humanity had not only proven that it could survive, but that it could thrive under pressure, rewriting the very rules of warfare. As Earth's forces continued to achieve success, the coalition's once unshakable confidence began to crumble. Their centuries-old tactics could not match the ingenuity and resourcefulness of humanity. Morale within the coalition plummeted, and divisions began to emerge among its member species. Some blamed the coalition's leadership for underestimating Earth, while others questioned the morality of their actions. The psychological toll on the coalition's troops was immense. Once confident in their superiority, they now faced an adversary that was not only surviving but thriving. Despite their victories, humanity's forces were stretched thin. The war, though successful, had come at a great cost. Earth's infrastructure was strained, and the civilian population endured hardships as they supported the war effort. Yet the sacrifices made by the people only served to strengthen their unity. The shared struggle fostered a sense of solidarity, and their resolve to persevere grew stronger than ever. As the war raged on, the coalition's once dominant fleets were forced to retreat from several key systems, their resources drained by the relentless wave of human ingenuity and strategy. Each victory served as a reminder of Earth's resilience and adaptability, turning the tide of the conflict in ways the coalition had never anticipated. The war had evolved into a battle not just of weapons, but of ideas, and humanity's creative use of technology and tactics made them a force that could no longer be ignored. Within the coalition, frustration and doubt began to fester, and their leaders, accustomed to commanding vast empires through sheer force and tradition, struggled to comprehend the sudden shift in power. As Earth's forces grew more efficient, the coalition's unity started to fray, with different species questioning whether the ongoing conflict was worth the mounting losses. Some alien factions, once staunch allies of the coalition, began to explore covert negotiations with Earth, recognizing the new power as a rising force rather than a fleeting threat. Humanity, on the other hand, had no intention of letting up. Earth's leaders were determined to carve out a permanent place for their species in the galactic order. They had tasted victory, and now the goal was not just survival but domination. They had adapted to the demands of war, but they knew the costs would only rise as the battle stretched on. The civilian effort continued to play a critical role, with Earth's citizens enduring hardships but fueling their military efforts with unprecedented levels of innovation and resource mobilization. Back on Earth, the populace felt the weight of the war on their daily lives. The factories were now the heart of the war effort, producing not only weapons but technology that far surpassed anything seen in the galactic community. Every breakthrough, from advanced shields to faster-than-light travel, shifted the balance of power, giving Earth's forces an edge that the coalition could no longer match. The Earth's leadership was determined to press on, refusing to negotiate for peace until the coalition acknowledged their right to exist as an equal power in the galaxy. Tensions escalated further as the coalition, growing desperate, began employing more drastic measures. They resorted to desperate tactics, including the use of planetary blockades and targeted strikes on Earth's supply lines. But humanity's resourcefulness again came to the fore, with Earth's fleet innovating new strategies to bypass these measures and keep their momentum going. The coalition's old methods, once thought infallible, had become outdated in the face of Earth's flexibility. As humanity continued to press forward, they found allies in unexpected places. Some alien species, long oppressed by the coalition, began to see Earth as a beacon of hope, even offering assistance in secret. This unexpected support further strained the coalition, which was now facing not only a determined adversary but a fractured alliance. As the years passed, the galactic landscape began to change irrevocably. Earth, once a solitary, insignificant planet, was now an undeniable power, no longer seeking permission but demanding recognition. Victory after victory, Earth's influence expanded. The once skeptical alien civilizations began to take notice, some quietly opening diplomatic channels, while others joined the fight openly, seeking to align themselves with Earth's cause. The coalition, still powerful but increasingly divided, found itself on the defensive, unable to maintain its grip on its former territories. With the balance of power shifting, Earth's leaders took steps to consolidate their gains, organizing a series of peace talks with select coalition factions. They were willing to consider a future of cooperation, but only if Earth's newfound strength was acknowledged and their place as an equal in the galaxy was firmly established. Yet even as Earth pursued diplomacy, it remained clear that the old order was crumbling, and a new, more complex interstellar structure was emerging, one where humanity, once a mere bystander, was now a key player. The coalition's defeat was not just military, it was symbolic. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of a new power, one that had not only survived but had adapted, thrived and conquered. And as Earth's influence spread, it became increasingly evident that this was just the beginning. The future of the galaxy was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity was no longer a minor player in the galactic stage. They had rewritten the rules of power, and the galaxy would never be the same again. As the war reached its climax, the coalition's once mighty fleets began to splinter, unable to keep up with the relentless pressure of Earth's forces. What had started as a distant skirmish between rival civilizations was now a full-blown galactic conflict, with the very fabric of the interstellar order being torn apart. The coalition, which had once seemed invulnerable, now faced an existential crisis. Their fleets were battered, their leadership fractured, and their territory rapidly shrinking as Earth's forces expanded into formerly coalition-controlled regions. Despite their growing successes, Earth's leadership understood that victory came at a steep price. The war had exacted an immense toll on Earth's infrastructure, with many colonies and cities facing shortages of essential supplies. However, these sacrifices only strengthened the resolve of Earth's people. The war had brought them together in ways they had never anticipated, forging a new sense of unity and determination. The idea of submission to the coalition had long been rejected, but now Earth stood on the verge of an undeniable triumph. Meanwhile, the psychological toll on the coalition's forces deepened. Their once confident commanders now faced a profound existential crisis, unsure how to fight a foe that was not bound by the same rigid doctrines and traditions. The coalition had relied on massive fleets and overwhelming firepower, but Earth had demonstrated that innovation and flexibility could render these advantages moot. The coalition's leadership, unable to adapt quickly enough, began to lose control of their forces. Deserters grew in number, with many soldiers and officers choosing to abandon their posts rather than face the shame of defeat. As the war continued, the battlefield itself transformed. Planets once considered strategic strongholds for the coalition began to fall, and Earth's forces took hold of critical supply routes and resource-rich areas. The coalition, now under intense pressure, attempted to retaliate with increasingly desperate measures, resorting to long-range attacks on Earth's colonies. Yet these strikes only served to galvanize the resolve of Earth's citizens, whose loyalty to the cause became more unshakable with every passing day.